Okay, guys. So, as promised, from Iron Man to the Incredible Hulk, we are on the second Marvel Monday, which depending on how this goes, because as of making this video, Monday is 9/11. So this may not go up on 9/11's, I guess you could say, quote-unquote, anniversary of it happening. We have another thing planned with Young Lion Pops. So whether or not this goes up this Monday coming, or the Monday after, or even on a Tuesday, Marvel Monday is here. We're doing the Incredible Hulk. This time we got Young Buck. He wanted to hop in on Iron Man, but he had to go. So we're doing Incredible Hulk, and of course I have the case. Last time I put it in the middle and you couldn't see it. I have the case here. And one reason I like this case and one reason I like bringing the cases is like it's green. You know what I mean? What other things are green?
Yeah.
And it's a freaking Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
You can say Green Ray.
All right.
Green race. I don't think there's anything else cool in this, but like I said in the Iron Man, I will bring every case possible that I have, and I have them all. So expect me to bring every single case. Anyway, we have chosen a scene. We sat down. We literally just walked in here. And we're like, well, what scene are we thinking? And Cousin Jeffro said at very first, he was like, I was thinking the campus scene. And I was like, boom, I was thinking that same thing. Young Buck said the exact same thing. And we considered the first transformation.
Mm-hmm.
But since we all three thought this was the first thing that came to mind, this is what speaks the Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton, to us.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you guys want to say about anything about this movie so far?
I'll say something, but if you want to go ahead, because I've talked on these before.
I just got a goofy question. Y'all think he's a green apple or lime? Hulk.
That's another Vince. I like it.
This guy. Okay.
So I just want to remind everybody,
Sorry, I had to.
this is only our second MCU review. So if you do have any questions about how we're doing it, what we're doing, as we said in the Iron Man video, we explain it all at the beginning of that.
So I will put up a thing up in that corner. Boom! Right now you just saw it on your screen, and you make a click on that and watch it, and then come back right here.
Yeah. So it'll explain it completely, how we are ranking it, and each movie in itself is in its own ranking, and then we rank them all out of the whole MCU. So I think we're good to go, unless you guys have anything else you want to say.
Just so you guys know, I'm looking at my NCU ranking, so I can kind of get an exact number as to where I want this, and I think I know where I want it.
Yep.
No, I'm good. You guys want to go ahead and get into our...
Let's do it.
All right, let's see.
Let's do it.
The Hulk, what is it got? University Battle clip.
Now she'll see. Palpatine, let him have all of it. Where are the 50 cal movie racers?
Look at that little phone.
Right.
Blonsky, now you're up.
What a waste we have some.
Honestly.
Tell me. Blonsky, pull back now.
Is that what you got?
Bitch.
Pull back! Pull back!
I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah. He's
All
gonna
right.
kill that one in the morning.
Cousin Jeffro, let's go ahead and start with you. I introduced this. What? I don't know what. Just The Incredible Hulk. What do you got?
This is one of those movies at the time. It was really good. It was a really good movie.
What do you got right here?
Just
Got a little stringy string.
finger string on camera. Gotta pull some strings.
But I'm crashing there.
Did it? You know, this was a really good movie when it came out. Edward Norton did a really good job. The problem with this movie, it's kind of like we talked about Don Cheadle and Iron Man, is that as it went on, this movie becomes less and less relevant overall.
Yeah.
You know, I think the few saving graces from this movie is like, you know, it's referenced in Avengers where, you know, I destroyed Harlem once. Obviously, Ross is in there from Civil War, Infinity War, Black Widow.
Which, rest in peace, he is
Yeah.
passed now.
Harrison Ford now is Ross. And then, obviously, we hadn't seen anything from Blonsky until Shang-Chi. And then, if you've watched She-Hulk, you know, he's finally showed up, so we finally get some background on him. But overall, you know, if we were basing this on the movie itself, I think it gets a pretty good ranking. But as far as the MCU, I think it gets a pretty low one because while it was one of the original 4 movies before Avengers comes out, it just doesn't hold up for storyline and connection as much as the other ones.
100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I mean, it's a good movie by itself.
Yeah.
For the MCU, it's a lower one.
I agree.
So
You want to go ahead and take?
No, basically, he said it all. Like, I feel the exact same way about it. Like, I feel like by itself, this is a fantastic movie, but if you want to go by the MCU in a whole, I don't really think it's up there. It's a juggernaut of a movie, though, by itself, though. I will say that. Edward Norton was fantastic.
Yep.
And, you know, if you like standalone films, this is probably one of those ones that you will enjoy. But if you like watching stuff in, like, you know, order or, like, just, you know, in a timeline, I feel like, you know, it's a cool movie, but it won't really fill you in much.
Yeah. I agree. One thing young Buck and I had talked about before doing this, when he asked if he could be in this one, was how it's a little too late now to have Hulk 2 with Mark Ruffalo.
Mhm.
They've now done She-Hulk, which I haven't seen. I've seen clips. I haven't actually watched. That's my fault. But
I've watched a couple episodes.
We'll get
You're
there.
not missing much.
I've seen it all. Of course.
Of course, right. But have you seen Secret Invasion now?
Yeah.
You have?
All
Okay.
of it.
So I haven't watched that yet either. And I know I'm being a bum by doing that, but I'll get to it. But now she's our Hulk pretty much. Like this new age of Avengers is coming in. So having Mark Ruffalo do his own standalone movie would be irrelevant. It
Yeah.
wouldn't do well at all.
It'd have to be more like a supporting role.
Yeah.
Because he's like
See, that's what I thought. I thought Hulk's now more of like a supporting character.
He's more like elder statesman of the
And-
whole Avengers.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I'm going to throw out there that this movie set up Mastermind in the end. And we got nothing from that.
Yeah.
To this moment, we don't have anything. I'm sure it's coming at some point. We now have Abomination back from
Mhm.
Shang-Chi and She-Hulk. He's back. So at some given point, I'm sure we're going to get it.
Mhm.
But we've been waiting almost 20 years.
Well, and there's little things in this movie that were hinted at for other things to happen.
Yeah.
You know, the leader, you know, the guy that helps
Yeah.
Banner at the university,
Yep.
that Stearns, Samuel Stearns. In the comics, that's the leader, who is by far, aside from Abomination,
Maybe
the
that's what I
most
meant to
big
say, the
in his-
leader, not
yeah.
Mastermind. That's
Mastermind's X-Men.
That's my fault. That's
It's
my
okay.
fault.
Okay. You know,
Said the wrong
X-Men.
name. Said the wrong name.
But yeah, the leader is one of the Hulk's biggest villains. And when he gets the gamma radiation, his brain swells to a point where his head
Yeah.
has like an oblong shape.
That's my fault, guys.
But They never did anything with it, so there's always rumors that he's going to show up. And to me, the most important part of this, that I feel like is one of the reasons why this movie kind of drops, is Betty Ross in the comics is one of the most important parts of the Hulk mythology. And she's not been seen since this movie. They don't even talk
Not even
about
mentioned.
it.
Yeah.
Like, at least in some of the other movies, like characters that aren't in a movie that has like a love interest, they speak about her.
Yeah.
They've never brought up Betty Ross at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely an issue for me.
Okay. I also will say that this Hulk seems more Hulk to me than in Avengers. About how angry he gets and how strong he is and just how more brutal he is.
They kind of almost like cartooned it in Avengers and stuff.
Yeah.
They like
Go ahead. I'm not going to cut you off.
no, you're
Sorry.
good. You're
I mean,
good.
that's
You're good. But
essentially what I
it's
was
like
saying.
it's like they kind of like downplay how strong he really is inside the Avengers.
That was one issue I had.
But I feel like they did that so he wouldn't like outshine some of the other
Our
people.
main heroes.
Because if
sure.
you like think about it, Hulk's like he's that guy.
Hulk can be OP. The other thing is, when you're talking about as many characters as we have, there has to be some conflict, with the main storyline.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when you talk about Endgame and like people are like, well, Captain Marvel, she did what she did in 10 seconds. She could have just came and ended the whole thing and it wouldn't have even mattered. But it wouldn't have furthered the plot. It wouldn't have really set things up. Same thing with Hulk. Like, yeah, sure, if we kept the same Hulk from Thor Ragnarok before,
Yeah.
yeah, he can just go around and destroy everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what growth does the character itself have if you're just going to always make them the mindless beast who destroys everything?
Yeah.
There's no character growth.
Sure.
So I get where you're coming from because that's one of the main Hulk complaints I see everywhere.
Yeah.
People are like, well, the Hulk's a wuss, the Hulk doesn't do this, but there has to be some evolution. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That scene, one of the best parts of this scene is when he takes the first Humvee, kicks it, and it just causes a mass explosion with everything else. You know?
Yeah.
When he kicks Blonsky, and Blonsky, he got an ouchie.
Yeah.
Big ouch.
Big ouchie.
If he wakes up, he'll feel it.
Yeah. like,
Absolutely. He's going to
So-
go for a week.
I totally get what you're saying, but I also think that, like, if you're looking at it from a story perspective, we talked about some of DC's problems. They don't do a great job at telling stories.
It's very stagnant.
They're like, well, we're just going to do this and hopefully it makes sense. With what they're doing with the MCU, some people want to...
Too soon.
What's wrong?
He said the new Flash movie.
I don't want to even start on that.
we're not there.
We're not.
We're not
not
even
a
in
DC
DC.
channel.
We're not even.
This ain't dog crap universe yet. Hot take. No. But, so
Define words.
I get what you're saying. That's always going to be a tough one because we can have the same mindless Hulk,
Yeah.
but what evolution does that character get then?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So-
That's fair.
No, I totally agree. And I'm one of the probably few people that enjoyed Professor Hulk.
Me too.
I thought he was good.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
in the comics, that's actually the best part is when he's Professor Hulk in the comics, he still has the capability to go full rage monster.
Right.
Because Banner's always angry.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one
That's
thing I
a
felt
secret.
like. That's the one thing I felt like they didn't do as well in the movies. But go ahead.
So in the Avengers, the scene I think of when I'm talking about like how they downplay him is when he gets pissed off on the air jet and chases Romanoff.
Oh yeah.
That scene, I feel like he could have done way, way more damage to that plane than he did.
I mean, you
And
saw what
then
he did
then
here.
he goes into war and he does fine, no big deal. And then we get to Age of Ultron, and he goes absolutely ballistic, breaking buildings down, going toe to toe with Iron Man and stuff. And I feel like the Age of Ultron one was closer resembled to this Hulk than the Avengers was. And if we wanted to keep like a good story arc for this character to start, like maybe start easing off the gas of the anger, then it should have been vice versa, where the Age of Ultron one was more angry on that ship, coming from this movie being more angry. You see what I'm saying? And then slowly start leaning off the anger,
I mean, yeah, I can see what
because
you're saying.
he should be angry on that airship,
Yeah.
and he is.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is in both of those scenarios, either Banner or Hulk or both are being manipulated.
Okay, that's true. Age
Because
of Ultron
He's got the mind stuff with
from
Wanda.
Wanda.
And then
That's
in
true.
Avengers, Loki was manipulating everybody. They walked right into his trap.
True.
Yeah.
But he didn't actually do anything to him, correct?
No,
just
he
made
didn't.
He just pissed him off.
But he got them all in the same place and like got them to do exactly what he wanted. So when he transformed into Hulk, Banner was already angry.
Yeah.
Because Banner is supposed to be one of the smartest people, and
Right.
Banner's secret is that he's always angry. So how do you piss him off? Show him that he was wrong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, again, that can be a semantics thing because
Sure.
when do you make it a good time to evolve the character?
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
and no matter what, nothing's gonna be perfect. So I think
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And like Young Buck said, I like Edward Norton's Hulk.
I do
think he
too.
did fine.
Yeah.
I did too. Honestly, the problem with Edward Norton, I don't know if you guys know this, was that he wanted two things. He wanted to be on the RDJ level of money,
Yeah.
and he even asked for full control of what was going to happen in the entire universe.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted
okay.
like direction output
I knew he wanted more money. I didn't. know
Yeah,
about
see,
the
I
direction
knew
of
the
it.
money part. I didn't know about the complete
because he
control
wanted
stuff.
like to have like one of the final says and all that stuff, and it's like, well, you don't even know what we're doing, my
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all he knows, I mean, it wouldn't go with
Well,
like.
I mean, he's
the-
Edward Norton, so he's expecting. Well, if they want me to stay, they're going to give me what I want.
Yeah,
And
and that's how
he's-
Edward Norton is. Like, I don't know if you've heard more
Oh, yeah.
stuff about Edward, but he's
Yeah.
always been a prima donna when it came to that.
You were
stuff.
we were even talking about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a huge fan of Edward Norton.
Yeah, until he started doing some of the stuff that he started doing, but you know.
Okay.
So.
Also, real quick, I forgot to hang it up beforehand.
Oh, dang it!
Oh man.
We were so
Um,
rushed. I forgot.
This will be hung up over here. Hopefully in next Marvel Monday. Star-Lord is my favorite character, and Gambit is Cousin Jeffro's favorite character. Now, he's not bringing Gambit. He's got two other things that he's going to hang up, which you'll have to guess, wait and see.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I forgot to do it today, or it would have been here. But you'll notice a couple random characters sitting in the background somewhere.
Then who's your favorite?
Like in MCU or just Marvel?
Just Marvel in general. Because his is Gambit. who's
Marvel?
not in the MCU.
Yeah, he's an X-Men, and which I'm an X-Men guy too. I grew up on Like when I first started watching Marvel stuff, it was X-Men first. So I mean, I'm a huge Quicksilver guy. I love Quicksilver.
Which fits in both MCU
yeah,
and
MCU and yeah.
Marvel. Yeah.
That is true. Well, all right, guys. Do you have anything else to say about? We need to rank it.
Rank.
Sorry,
yeah.
my bad. Cousin Jeffro,
You want me to go?
go ahead.
Okay. So
Let's start with our 1 to 10 rank. What do you give this movie?
I give this movie a solid 8
Okay.
because standalone, it's a good movie.
Yep.
It is a good movie. You know, it's showing how he is trying to work on his rage. You know, and trying to stop the beast from within, and that even in moments where he could have flipped out, Banner has done a good job. You know, I think the fact that he's a world-renowned scientist and he's hiding, you know, in another country, and you know, the Stan Lee cameo is one of the best cameos of all, because you know he gets the soda with the gamma radiation. You know, I think there's a lot of little Easter eggs. You know, obviously Sam Stearns. The university is Empire University, where most of the Marvel heroes that have graduated with a degree in New York City in the comics come from Empire University. Peter Parker is taught there and everything in the comics. So I like that. You know, obviously they did a really good job of showing Ross as like this power hungry guy. That's why he wanted to do all the stuff he did. So I felt like that was done really well. So yeah, this movie gets an 8 for me. The MCU, it's really low.
Yeah.
It's because of the
Yeah.
fact that overall there's only a few things that really connect this movie. So out of 41, this one gets 40.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot lower than I thought.
Well, because even some of the movies that are considered bad, they have bigger connections to the entire universe than this does.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So-
Go, Young Buck.
Yeah, sure. I'll go, I'm right up there with Jeffrey. I got to give it an 8.3. Just because, like he said, you know, alone it's a great film, but all together in the grand scheme of everything, it doesn't really fit. But my overall is probably somewhere in between the 30 and the 40s. So That's
Okay.
where.
Okay.
That's right.
He hasn't been able to think of his.
Yeah, I
like,
haven't
Yeah, we
thought
kinda
of my
just- we kinda
list
just
yet,
sprung
but
that out.
I'll get it.
like,
Next
I have
week.
mine 1 to 41 laid out. I know how it's gonna go. So
So I'm gonna give this movie standalone by itself. This movie is a 7 for me.
okay.
And just play off what you guys said, pretty much, you know. But I'm gonna drop it one more because of what you just told me about Edward Norton wanting to basically dictate everything. I don't know, like, in a way, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So we got one less on
Which is
himself.
fair. Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
As for my ranking, I'm putting this at 35.
Okay.
So there's a few movies I like less than this,
Mhm.
but I feel like even though it doesn't have a super big like connection, like you said, it's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to have entertainment in a movie, or else it's gonna fall off.
Well,
Especially a Marvel movie.
Here's the thing. I think for the most part, even the ones that are considered lower of the MCU, if you compared it to some of the worst of like even the Sony movies, you know, the DC movies, you know, some of the other superhero universes, most of these movies are watchable again.
Yeah.
There's not much that I couldn't be like, okay, well, I'm going to do something here and I can at least put it on the background.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple DC movies that I will not ever watch again.
Green
You couldn't
Lantern.
pay me to do
Justice
it.
League, sorry.
Batman vs Superman.
Anyway, I don't know what
Anyways,
to say.
I mean, we're not biased, but you know.
Sorry, we just had something in our throat.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
um,
So yeah,
I think that's Incredible Hulk. So next we have Iron Man 2.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
2.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So next time Marvel Monday goes up, which should be in the next 2 to 3 Mondays, Iron Man 2 will be coming.
Shoot to throw.